In this problem, we want to find the complete quotient when p of x is divided by the binomial following it. And we're going to look at this two different ways. First, way we're going to take a look at it is with long division. So we got x plus 1, and then we got 2x to the third plus 3x squared plus 4x minus 10. Now for long division, both of these must be in standard form. Terms arranged from largest power down to smallest, and they are x, no x, x to the third, x squared, x, and no x. Excuse me. Then we, and you can't have a missing powers, which we don't. We take a look at the first term of each, decide what to put up on top. You ask yourself what times x gives you 2x to the third, and that'd be 2x squared. Now whatever you put up on top, you're going to multiply by what's out in front. So we're going to take the 2x squared times x plus 1. 2x squared times x is 2x to the third. 2x squared times 1 is 2x squared. So we've got 2x to the third plus 2x squared. Now we're going to subtract that line, which means flip signs. So the positive 2x third becomes negative. The positive 2x squared becomes negative. 2x third minus 2x third drops away. 3x squared minus 2x squared gives us x squared. And I was taught to bring everything down division-wise, so I will. And then we repeat the process. We only look at the first term of each, decide what to put up on top. We ask ourselves what times x gives us x squared, and that'd be x. And as always, whatever you put up on top, you multiply by what's out in front. So I'll take x times x plus 1, which gives us x squared plus x. Now we're going to subtract that line, which again means flip signs. So positive x squared becomes a negative. The positive x becomes a negative. X squared minus x squared drops away. 4x minus x is 3x. And then I'll bring down the minus 10. And we look at the first term of each, decide what to put up on top. We ask ourselves what times x gives us 3x. And that'd be 3. And whatever you put up on top, you multiply by what's out in front. So we'll take 3 times x plus 1, which gives us 3x plus 3. Now we're going to subtract that line, which means flip signs. So the positive 3x becomes a negative. The positive 3 becomes a negative. 3x minus 3x drops away. Negative 10, negative 3 gives us negative 13. And the degree of negative 13 is 0. Degree is the largest power of x. The degree of x plus 1 is 1. Whenever the degree of this becomes less than what you're dividing by, this is your remainder. So our answer is going to be 2x squared plus x plus 3. And then you put your remainder over what you're dividing by. So we'll have negative 13 over x plus 1. You could also put the negative out in front of the fraction if you want. Some books like to put it up on top to really emphasize that the remainder is actually at negative 13, not just 13. And some doesn't matter. They put it up in front and put it up on top, just wherever it's appropriate. Okay, that's long division. Now let's take a look at synthetic division, which we could use for this problem. You cannot do it for every problem. You can only use synthetic division when you're dividing by x plus a number or x minus a number. So it has to be of that form, like x plus 3 or x minus 5. If you were dividing by 3x plus 2, where there's a number in front of the x, you could not use synthetic division. If you're divided by x squared minus 7, you cannot use synthetic division. So it's very particular when you can use it. But in this case, we're dividing by x plus 1, so we could use it. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So So we got 2x to the third plus 3x squared. I showed both methods so you'd have it just in case the one in the final requires you to use long division. Then by x plus 1. Okay. First step in synthetic division is we want to take what we're dividing by, set it equal to 0, and solve. So we're dividing by x plus 1, so we'll set it equal to 0 and solve it. And that gives us x equals -1. Second step, we take the number we just found, we put in a box in the upper left-hand corner, and we identify our largest power. If I look at what we're dividing it into, the largest power is x to the third. So real small across the top, I'm going to write x to the third, x squared, x, and no x, our constant term. Now we're going to write down the number that's in front of each one of them. So here we got a 2, here we got a 3, 4, and -10. By writing this real small across the top, this ensures that it's always in standard form and you're not missing any powers. Now remember, with synthetic division, we're going through a series of adding, multiplying over and over until we're done. So let's start with our first column here. And want to add. So 2 plus nothing is 2. And then we want to multiply. We always multiply by number up in the box, by number we just put down here. So -1 times 2 is -2. And then we want to add. 3 plus -2 is 1. 3 minus 2. Then we want to multiply. You always multiply by number in a box, by number you just put down here. -1 times 1 is -1. Then we want to add. 4 minus 1 is 3. Then we want to multiply. You always multiply by number in a box, by number you just put down there. -1 times 3 is -3. And then we want to add. -10, -3 is -13. Now this was x to the third. This will be 1 degree lower. So this is going to be x squared. This will be x. This will be our no x, our constant term. And this will be our remainder. So our answer will be 2x squared plus x plus 3. And we take our remainder and we put over what we're dividing by, which was x plus 1. And that's our answer.